right, we have a little bit of problem with the low poly mesh. It's too low, so let's solve that problem. And also, I noticed a little bit problem with this piece. Let me solo that. As you can see at the end, this cap, it's smushed together. So first of all, let's solve that. And yeah, with the polygon height, so Control Shift and select the lasso. Oh, not Control Shift alone, Control Shift Alt, and let's hide this polys. Then geometry, modify topology, and delete hidden. Here, delete hidden. Now switch to the modeler. We don't need to have symmetry, so hit X and close, convex, Shift F, and maybe one level of subdivision. Control W to make it single polygroup. Let me insert a edge loop here as well. All right, now let's go back, and from this one let's start projecting again. To make a proper projection, we need to have a little bit more subdivision, but not for this particular piece. So let's leave that as it is, just one project because of this extra edge that I just added. So let's go for the handle. And as you can see, if I hit transparent, where is it? Fix. And all right. As you can see, the low poly mesh is sitting inside the high poly, and that's not a problem exactly. That's only make the handle, low poly handle, a little bit smaller. So to solve that, select the low poly handle and hit Ctrl D to add a level of subdivision. Shift F to see the subdivision. Then let me make the shell for projection a little bit bigger and project all. It's a little bit better. And I guess that's enough. So let me check for error at the caps, and no error. So let's go for this back part. Same deal. It's a little bit too low, so let's hit Ctrl D. Then project again. Yeah, that's almost fit. Yeah. Let me solo that and check for errors, especially at the end. I'm not seeing any errors, so let's go for the next piece. And that would be this part that I completely forget to make a low poly mesh. So yeah, let me see how much subdivision this one has. Yeah, I guess I can work with that. that doesn't need to have any extra retopology. So let me duplicate that and put that down here inside low poly and make that high poly again. Select the low poly version and project. Delete higher. Increase the shell and project again. I guess that's good. Next piece would be this one. Hit transparent. It's not that bad, actually. But a level of subdivision might be good for it. So Control D. Then a little bit of shell and project. All right, now let's go for this piece. Yeah, that's not good. Select the low poly, Control D, and shell. Then project. We check that. Yeah, we have some errors here. So yeah, let's go for the Z measure. Hit X, transparent, space, move, and snap to surface. Yeah, we have subdivision levels. We need to delete that. And merge them together. Let's check for some errors. If, yeah, we have down here. Check, double check, and yeah, we're good to go. Let me hit save. Yep. And let's see which one left. Yeah, gum. So select the gum, and gum had a little bit of more issue. So first of all, it's not fit at all. And my retopology method for this one, it's not working that good. So I changed my mind for this piece. First of all, the high poly piece has a little bit of problem here. That's gonna ruin the low poly projection. And that would be faces on top of the face. And those are not combined together. To solve that problem, we need to go to Geometry Dynamesh for the high poly Dynamesh and give it a high resolution, maybe 2048. Then Dynamesh. It combined that together. Now we need to let me see if I have symmetry. Yeah, we need to smooth that with shift, and yeah, as you can see that combined. Maybe a little shift here. maybe a little bit of that standard brush with a drag and maybe this alpha. Yeah, drag that alpha, and you have it adjust less on top, so you can adjust the last brush a little bit, texture here and there. Where is this? Let me smooth that out. And a little bit more texture. Invert. Need to scrap that with the edge polish. That's gonna be a problem when we're baking the high-res mesh. And good. See if I can add a little bit more texture at the end of each tilt. Yeah, maybe let's do that by inflate. A little bit more texture. Not bad. And let's enable or make this layer visible. And around that also maybe a little bit here. And let's check this one as well. All right, that's good. And let's keep the gum alone and save. Might get crashed. All right, low poly gum. Yeah, that's really low for this kind of situation, and really uniform. So let's solve this problem. First of all, I need to connect this two points. So let me go for some Z modeler action, point action, and split points. And let's see if I can. Oh, has subdivision level. Let's delete that. Oh, I need to use slice. Do not crease. And slice from here to here. And let's go at the end also. That's it. Need to. Oh, I'm slicing from all the way here. Yeah, I need to hit space to release that last action. Then go for another action. All right, now let's add a couple of subdivision. Control D, Control D. All right. And let me save first. All All right, both visible. Select the low poly gum and make the shell project, and it's almost like a high poly shape. It's a little bit problem with these two parts down. Let me switch to inflate, make a bigger brush, hit X for symmetry, and with the inflate, let's make the low poly mesh in some places a little bit bigger. All right, that's close enough. Now let's see the low poly, not bad. Save again, 0.8. Then let's delete the low poly, keep the symmetry enabled, and for this particular mesh, I'm going to use the remesher. All right, now let's add a target polygon of 1, that means 1000. Keep the adaptive. We have some narrow places and sharp places, wide places, and that's gonna distribute the faces based on the situation. Also, we can use polypaint to determine which part we need to have more resolution. So let's switch the brush to paint. It's gonna automatically choose a paint for us, paint color. And yeah, the mid density is good enough. So let me paint this edges and the end and bottom. And this action tells the remesher to add more poly in this area. All right, make the color white again. Then hit the remesh. Shift F. As you can see, that's good. Yeah, acceptable. You can go a little bit lower. Let's Ctrl Z, maybe 0.5 and remesh. And yeah, that's really better. As you can see, we have more poly at the selected edges and also a symmetrical line at the middle. All right, good. Let me save again. Then go up and project one more time, or maybe no need to project. No need to project. All right, now let me review low poly meshes one more time. Look for some errors. Looks like we don't have any. So let's make some polygroups to make the UV part a little bit easier. So solo this part, F to frame that, and Shift F. All right, we need to have polygroup for each cap. So let me go and select Control Shift and select this cap. Right? Control W to make it polygroup. Control Shift and click to bring back everything. Let's go for this end cap here. Control W. Now we have two polygroup at the each end. All right. Now we go down to the polygroup. Where is it? Polygroup palette. We need to use this one, this new option, regroup visible, to keep the old group and make group for other parts. I'm going to show you. So let's Control Shift and select this poly. Maybe a little bit further, and regroup visible. It's going to keep this group and add another group to the visible part. So from here, regroup visible, and this is actually our cutting parts or cutting lines for UV mapping, because I'm gonna tell the Zbrush, where is it, Z plugin, like that. I'm gonna tell the UV master to make UV by polygroup. So I'm gonna pre-cutting actually. So for the half, let me hit Control Shift, go and select the rectangle and select maybe this part, yep. And Control Shift, select this cap. And if I can see that cap, select this cap to hide it. And we have three polygroup at this side. If I hit regroup and bring back the mesh, as you can see, we have new polygroups each sides, and those are UV islands or UV shells. So let's go for the other one here. Gum. All right, now first lasso. Maybe select this. Control W. And maybe here to here. Control W to make it polygroup, and Control W. Maybe one for the last, but yeah, the cap is not that good. So it's Control W. Let's go back and let me solve this problem. I didn't see that. Enable the high poly and Z modeler, face, and let's see. Maybe a little bit of smoothness, or select the edges, extrude, snap the surface. Where is it? Here. Then shift. Yeah, it's gonna move it back. So hit Control Z and delete this last cap. Control Shift Alt. And let's go to the geometry, modify topology. Where is it? Here. delete hidden without symmetry and extrude. Snap surface is enabled. Grab one of the, or maybe not. Let's use transpose, edge loop complete. Select this edge and hold Alt, reset, reset. Keep hold Alt to change that gizmo orientation. Then using the scale, I'm gonna make it straight and here. Now let's close that cap. Hover over the edge. Close this time. Concave. Just click. Right. Let's add a little bit of subdivision here. Insert, multi, and keep the group. Maybe 2. All right. Let's reproject that and hope it's work. Project. Not bad. All right. It's all good. So let's go to the side view. Control Shift. With the rectangle, select the half of the mesh and polygroup palette, regroup visible. All right, that's our cuts. Yeah, maybe. All right. Let's continue in the next part and finish up the cutting, PD cutting, and also make a UV map or unwrap the mesh. All right, now maybe one more cut here. So Ctrl Shift and lasso. Select from here to here. And regroup visible. Yeah, it's not good. Again to here. Now that's working. All right, another part would be this part. Let's cut that in half from side, maybe from here to here. Through W. Then let's go for the rectangle. Yeah, it's not working. So let's attack that with different. Oh, I have symmetry enabled. That's why. X. Again, select the half. Yeah, that's not all the half, but that doesn't matter. So let's go and regroup visible. Going down, fit this one. First of all, let's delete the lower. Also, for all of them, this is the first one, so no subdivision level. It lasso, Control W, Control W, regroup, and regroup again. From side, we need to use rectangle. Select the half, then Control Shift, hide these two caps, regroup. I'm using arrow key to select the other one. And let's check this bottom part and compare that to high poly mesh. Hide all of the meshes and maybe project again a little bit more projection distance. Oh, the inner is enabled. Oh, that's good. All right. Yeah. Same deal. Control Shift, lasso, both caps, Control W. Again here, Control W. Also, it has some creases, so uncrease all. Select this part, regroup visible, and regroup invisible again. Then down here, maybe a little bit further, regroup visible. Then from side, switch to rectangle. Symmetry is enabled again. And hide the caps. Regroup visible. Next would be this piece. So first of all, delete the subdivision level. The lasso. Control W. Also this cap. W. Regroup visible again. And maybe one more at the middle. Switch to rectangle. Hide the caps. And regroup. Next, the handle. And I guess that's the last one. Yeah. Control S. Save the project. Delete the subdivision level. All right, now lasso. Control W for each cap. And one at the middle. Go to side, switch to rectangle, hide the caps, visible, regroup. Alright, quit the solo, and let's see what we have up here. Visible, yeah. Now, if I make all of the low poly mesh invisible, as you can see, we have the poly group for the UV islands. So that means we can actually cut and make the UV for our mesh, but we need to first of all make a merge for the teeth. So click on this gear, merge folder. It's gonna hide the folder. Make a merge version. Also for the other parts, again merge. We have two merged. Take this and put it on top. And also let's do the same for teeth with the rectangle. Select the half, almost half, and regroup visible. Now we have a cut at the middle of each tooth. So let's go up. First of all, let me save again, this time 10. And merge two parts together. So merge and mesh down. Lots of polygroups. Open up the panel, Z plugin. If you didn't dock that, go here, grab this icon, put it here. And inside the Z plugin, open up the UV Master Palette. Just enable check the polygroups and nothing else. Then unwrap. It's a fast unwrapping tool. Then let's click flatten, and our floor is enabled, so let me disable that. It's gonna cut from each polygroup. It's not bad actually. Not ideal, but not bad. So unflatten. Now we need to have a low poly and high poly version exported from Zbrush. So let's go to the Z plugin, then FBX exporter, export import. I need to export the selected or visible, doesn't matter in this case. I'm gonna select selected. As normal, it's gonna make a smoothing version or smoothing normal operation on top of the correct normal that we see here. It's not smooth. And we have an option. You can actually export the, let me enable the polygroup again. You can actually export polygroup here as a material, and Substance Painter can recognize that as layer. So if I go all the way down to the polygroup and hit auto group, it's gonna make a group based on mesh parts. And if I enable this part, this button, this polygroup as mats, it's gonna assign a material to each polygroup. I don't need to use that, so let's keep it this way. Export, and let me give that a destination, another screen, and project files. I'm gonna name that low poly, or maybe dagger. Save, and it's exported already. It's a low poly mesh. It's almost, let me see, yeah, 11,000. Next would be the high poly. Let's go to the high poly and shift, make all of that visible, not the low poly, and check if it's any part missing. No. All right, now we can use the visible option. Export visible, those are visible, so export that. I'm gonna call that high poly and save. It's gonna take a long. All right, it's exported. Now we have, where is my explorer? We have dagger as low poly and high poly FPX. So let me quickly open up the subs painter. All right, and to import inside Substance Painter, you need to go to File, New. Here you have several templates. I'm going to use default template and document size 2048. Yeah, that's good. We can change that in the layers. And normal web format, OpenGL. Yeah, that's good for us. And auto unwrap. Now we have unwrapped our mesh previously. But if you're not, you can go here and recompute all and maybe change some margin spaces. Then align your UV and avoid elongated UV island and hit OK. It's gonna make it nice UV. All right, select your mesh. Where is it? Here. Dagger. All right, all good, and hit OK. It's gonna import your mesh inside here. I'm gonna reset the UI, then change the texture set list position here, and also here. That's a recovered tool. That's a material Zbrush assigned to our mesh. Let's change that to, double click and change that to dagger. Hit OK. And let me grab the property, put that here. And texture set setting, let's grab that and here. All right. First of all, let me hit save. All right. Now we need to bake all of that high poly data into the low poly mesh. If I go to display setting here, all the way down, enable the show mesh wireframe. It's rather low poly mesh, has no data. So let's go to texture set setting. Here, the baker, open up the baker and give it a resolution 2K for mesh maps. Then not bad. All right, now here you can select your high poly mesh. This is our max frontal distance and max rear distance, and that would be the cage for baking. So I find this setting good for this project. So 0.005, maybe 0.001 for rear distance. All right, and let's add 2 by 2 anti-aliasing. Match the parts. No, I don't give the parts name in both high poly and low poly. I'm gonna bake all of that to all of the low poly mesh. So yeah, that's good. Let's bake the normal for test. Alt click on normal. And yeah, bake. All right, it baked and almost no errors. Yeah, we're good to go. It's nice. Now that we have the normal baked, you can see all the data projected to the low poly mesh. Settings are good, data are completely transferred. So let's open up the baker again. This time I'll click on normal, disable the normal, we have normal map. And for the ID, let's change the ID source to mesh ID polygroup, mesh part or polygroups. And color generator here, shift, it's good. Position, we don't have any other material, so let's keep that to full scene. Thickness, self-occlusion, yes, and yep, it's good. Maybe generate height, no bent normal, no opacity. Bent normal is not a bad thing. It's a combination of normal and occlusion. You might need that. So if you wanted to bake some bent normal, check that. And curvature. Yeah, method from normal map in this case. And occlusion, let's make that smooth and give it a try. Hit bake. Okay, now let's cycle through all of the baked mesh maps by hitting B key. B, this is ID. Nice, good for masking. This is our occlusion, not bad. Our curvature, really nice. That position, I guess, yeah, position. And thickness, I'm gonna use that for actual subsurface scattering. And our height, yeah, it's not that good. And bent normal and opacity. So let's go back to material. All right, and let's test our mesh or our baked materials or baked mesh maps by adding smart materials. Let's go for a bronze material. Yeah, that's actually really good. Maybe creature teeth. Nice. Maybe human face. Yeah, we are lacking the SSS or subsurface scattering. This is gum, needs to have subsurface scattering. And to add that, we need to go to, not shader, the texture set setting. We have our channels here, base color, metallic, roughness, normal height. So we need to add that by hitting this plus button and scattering. All right. Still no scattering. We need to go to display setting and here enabling the active subsurface scattering. Now we can see that. And yeah, good. Now let's go and continue in next part with the actual painting or material making.